Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys had a great week. Happy Friday. Today we're going to be doing an aesthetic video. I am going to be starting a series of doing deep dives on different eras and aesthetics, talking about fashion and style for one of two reasons. Sorry. Mainly because I'm trying to continue to further my knowledge as a costume designer, fashion designer, and I think it'll help me to be able to make these little segments, one, to help myself in learning these different things, but also to help you guys. And if you're trying to discover your style or just interested in fashion history, then these videos will definitely be something to pay attention to and look out for. So today I'm doing the downtown girl. Honestly, I could have picked any aesthetic to start with, but I wanted to start with this one for the simple reason that I've been seeing it everywhere and it's definitely been on the rise. I feel like it's grown over the pandemic, and now it's very prevalent, so I thought it would be a cool aesthetic to start with. I'm going to be looking down at my iPad because I have notes, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. But yeah, before I get into it, definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and share if you are someone who's into sewing, fashion, styling, fashion history, anything under that realm, self-love, those kind of videos. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it because I'm talking a lot and we are here for fashion. So what is the downtown girl aesthetic? We're gonna start there. So the downtown girl aesthetic revolves around the romanticization of living in the downtown of a city, originating from New York, which is the opposite of the uptown girl aesthetic, which that will be a whole separate video. But yeah, I basically just explained why I wanted to do the downtown girl aesthetic to start with. But also another fun fact is that it started on Pinterest and then eventually made its way to TikTok and is now sort of viral on TikTok right now. So yeah, regarding Instagram, I have seen some downtown girly posts on Instagram, but I feel like TikTok and Pinterest is mainly where you will see this kind of aesthetic and the photos and inspiration and all that. Describing the downtown girl. This is just a description of what the downtown girl is. So to start, the downtown girl, the lifestyle of the downtown girl is someone who isn't wealthy but has enough to get by living the lifestyle that she wants, or that he wants. You can always catch her with her headphones on, listening to her favorite playlists. Music is definitely a very big thing in this aesthetic. I feel like the downtown girl definitely listens to modern music, but as well as music from 50s, 60s, 90s, 80s. Not just staying in our current day when it comes to the tunes that she's listening to. As she's walking through the city, she's lost in her music. She has a nostalgic feel to her. She loves to learn new things that add to her interests. She loves to learn new things that add to her interests, so losing herself in a book is pretty common for her as well. Movies are another world in which she likes to explore different genres. The lifestyle romanticizes a bit of wanting what you don't have but taking advantage of what you have right now, which I think is a lot of people in their 20s or just late teens. So definitely makes sense. I think it makes sense for this aesthetic to originate from New York, just because New York is built on the whole American dream, grinding to build your dream life, struggling to get there but still having fun in the process, which is basically what the downtown girl, the energy of it gives off. However, I do think like even if you're not from New York, obviously like any downtown of any city will give off the same vibe. So like London, I don't know about California, but London, like Chicago, yeah, any like downtown of a city will be still the same vibe. She has a rebellious feel to her, free-spirited, loves her friends, is very independent, and has a chill fashion sense. So in the research I did notice grunge and the off-model duty look were also very big factors in this aesthetic. The grunginess in terms of rebellion, having a bit of edge, which originates from rock culture, specifically from the 80s and 90s. But in the contrast, the model off-duty inspiration specifically comes from the effortless chic look. But what I get from that specifically for like the model off-duty look, because I know there's like a whole like sort of like there's a lot of cons with that aesthetic. So for me, when it comes to the model off-duty look and like that effortless like chic vibe, I sort of get from that like the confidence and just like that organic energy you carry of like being confident in yourself and like knowing yourself. Now we're gonna get into the starter pack for the downtown girl. So like what I feel like would be in terms of clothing, shoes, accessories, if you're trying to like capture this aesthetic. So for me, I feel like we're starting with clothes. Definitely band tees, oversized hoodies, denim, what else? Like baggy jeans, but also low-rise jeans, flannels. I'm sort of dressed for the occasion right now. I'm wearing like my downtown girl inspired look. What else? Baseball tees, I think I said that already. Chunky sweaters when it comes to like the fall. Cardigans, corduroy in terms of fabric. Layering, but like specifically only doing like 2 layers. Sometimes 3, but like mainly just like 2 layers. Scarves when it comes to like the winter time, like a pop of color with like your scarf and stuff like that. Honestly, I think like that covers it. And then just like relaxed, flared, and straight leg pants, as well as oversized leather jackets and oversized denim jackets are definitely a staple, or just like any kind of like oversized streetwear kind of jacket look. So like even like varsity jackets too. When it comes to jewelry, I think simple accessories and like simple jewelry is sort of key for this look. So like not doing too much, wearing stuff that like really flatters you. Yeah, headphones are definitely also a part of this jewelry because you will always be listening to music. If you're trying to capture this aesthetic, having your like big chunky Beats or Sony headphones. And then when it comes to shoes, I would say definitely Vans, Converse. I was gonna say Air Force Ones because I don't want to just stick to like the basic brands that I know are sort of seen a lot in these photos. So I feel like it's really just about like the kind of shoe that you're most comfortable in, because the downtown girl is like always on the run. So whatever is like your favorite like comfortable shoe, which could be like Air Force Ones, even like Jordan 1s, but like specific colors probably. What else? Docs, Mary Janes as well, ankle boots, and yeah, that's it. Like a chunky heel basically, I think is like the vibe for the downtown girl. Now, in terms of colors, I think the color palette of the downtown girl definitely screams fall. So a lot of neutrals, warm colors, specifically like reds, browns, what am I saying? Reds, yellows, oranges, and then like purples and blues, but like a specific kind of purple and blue, which I'm gonna like put on the screen. Yeah, I think that would be the color palette, but I definitely feel like the silhouette overpowers the color, so I feel like it's more about like the silhouette than just the color. But yeah, now just to talk about a little like cons and like touch a little bit on like the controversy with this aesthetic. So for this aesthetic, there has been a lot of talk about how the downtown girl is not inclusive to all races and body types. So when you search up these, because when you search up these photos, it usually is like a non-POC girl who's like slim, which is like what the vibe is giving off. But personally, I do believe that no matter like your race or your type, you can always adapt to the aesthetic that you want. You really just have to know how to dress your body. Honestly, if you know how to dress your body and like start to understand your body type and like what works for the body you have, as well as like your race and knowing like what colors look good against your skin and stuff like that, I feel like you can really adapt to any aesthetic you want. So definitely don't allow like the origin of something, if it's saying otherwise, to make you feel like you can't be a part of it, because you still definitely can. You just have to be creative and find ways to adapt it to who you are individually, which honestly is better, because then it's like you are adding your authenticity to the aesthetic and you're basically like adding your own creativity and like your own personality to it, which is what fashion is all about, and sort of what the downtown girl is about, just like being herself and like being unapologetic about it. That was like a little tea of the aesthetic, I guess. Just to close it out, I did want to talk about some movies and TV shows that you can like see the downtown girl in action. There's definitely more out there, I just didn't talk about all of them. So for one, I know Gilmore Girls is one that everyone says, specifically the character Rory and how she dresses. But I also want to talk about some other ones. Jenny from Gossip Girl, in terms of the way that her personality is and like the energy she gives off, but also I guess her whole lifestyle embodies the downtown girl, because she's living in Brooklyn, going to this like private school, making her own clothes, mixing with like the high like upper class people, and but like still being around people like in her circle as well. And then also, what else? I would also even say, I forget her name. Oh, what's her name from Gossip Girl? Vanessa. She's definitely a downtown girl. Just because of like the vibe she gave off, like that whole, like most of the show before like she started like mixing herself deeper in with like Serena and her friends. But she definitely gives off the downtown girl vibe if you are trying to look at it from like a non or a POC perspective. And then also another show that I think is really good on like the highlight of a downtown girl is Robin from High Fidelity. I think the fashion was really great in it, and her lifestyle I'm talking way too fast. Her lifestyle also embodies the downtown girl. Working in a record shop, having this vast taste in music, and also I wanted to touch on the fact that like I definitely think like film is another big thing like that the downtown girl would be into. So like having a vast like taste in like music and film, I think is a big thing with this aesthetic. And I think Robin in High Fidelity captures that. She also is on point with like the colors as well, with like she mostly wears warm colors if I remember correctly, and like pops of color here and there, and just like her silhouette, like yeah, she's the downtown girl. And one movie that I definitely thought embodied this a lot, and it's a really good movie, and if you haven't seen it I think you guys should check it out, is called Last Night in Soho. And specifically the main character Ellie definitely embodies this. She's coming from a small town, moving to London. Where she ends up living in London is like downtown. It's literally like the whole Like, she's literally living it, like, from start to finish. And yeah, her style in the movie was definitely like really great. I like how, like, I definitely think they did well with like making her costume like feel like it really is her character, because I feel like sometimes in costume design it just doesn't match like the way that they're dressed doesn't really match like their personality or like who they are, and it's like not aligned correctly. But I think they did really well with like this character in Last Night in Soho. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's a psychological thriller, so if you're not into like blood and stuff, it might be a lot. I'm honestly what's the word? Squeamish. So it was hard for me to watch, but it was still a really good movie, so you should check it out. But yeah, those were my movie recommendations and TV recommendations. There's definitely a lot more you could go into, but those were the ones that I wanted to talk about and that stood out to me the most. That's basically it for the downtown girl. I would say in terms of like where you guys can shop for this look, I know a lot of recommendations are people going to like Brandy Melville, but that's like one size fits all. So I would definitely say thrifting would be your best friend. Honestly, you could really adapt like getting pieces from different brands, even if they don't necessarily fit the aesthetic. So even like Princess Polly or Zara or Aritzia, like getting like some of like the oversized jackets and those kind of things, or like leather jackets and those kind of things from those stores, and mixing it with like thrifted pieces. This is thrifted actually. Or even like what else, making your clothes, if you know how to make clothes. That's definitely another way to like embody the aesthetic and the lifestyle of the downtown girl. So I would definitely just say be creative. I can list more shops down in the description of where you guys can shop, but I would definitely say thrifting and playing with the shops that you do shop at to pick and choose, like based on like the starter pack that I showed you, like which pieces could fit with this aesthetic. And then on another one, obviously I feel like Urban, you probably could get like band tees and stuff like that from there. But yeah, definitely play around with it. I just want to also embrace, what's the word? Emphasize. I just want to continue to emphasize on the fact as well that, like I said, you do not have to feel like that you can't be a part of an aesthetic just because it may originate from like something that's like against the odds of like who you are as a person. But I feel like if you are able to be creative and play with the different like what you have in front of you and like the places that you may shop at, and like knowing how to dress yourself, then you can definitely like fit with any aesthetic that you want to fit with. So yeah, that is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I wasn't talking too fast, and yeah. I think the next video I'm going to post a poll on my Instagram and probably on here to see which aesthetic you guys want. And then I also wanted to see if you guys wanted me to do a deep dive costume review on Charlotte, I think that's what it's called, for the Bridgerton, like the new season that just came out, because I feel like it'd be like a really great costume deep dive, and I love doing like period, like decade fashion. So let me know if you guys want a video on that. But besides that, that's a wrap. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.